Welcome back to LA Fishguys, part 3 of Spencer and the Jellyfish. We've recently set up a large 48-inch style Jellquarium in Spencer Pratt. That's Spencer of MTV's The Hills in his palatial hillside ocean view home. We're here today to acclimate 16 jellyfish, moon jellyfish, into his system. So tag along with us and let's see how it's done.
Jelly Jim, the hero.
Check them out.
So the first thing that we'll start doing is an airline siphon from the tank into the bag that the jellyfish are arriving in. This, again, will allow these jellies to adjust to any variations between what they're currently in and the tank they're going into. The second thing we want to do is set up the hatchery. We're going to be supplying freshly hatched baby brine shrimp. This is for the jellyfish, and they need to survive over the course of the next week. To feed the jellyfish, we've already pre-hatched the baby brine shrimp. This is freshly hatched 36-hour-old baby brine shrimp. We're going to set up this little hatchery here, not so much so that he ends up hatching them himself. I've already hatched them for him, but it's a place to keep it aerated and alive so that he'll go through this in the course of a week, and for each service, I'll bring a new batch. I have to admit, I find myself in a bit of a quagmire. The advantages of the live, freshly hatched baby brine shrimp are the fact that they'll stay in suspension with the jellyfish and allow the jellyfish to continue to feed upon them, as opposed to, say, a frozen or non-animated food that shortly within a few rotations of the tank would probably begin to settle at the bottom where the jellyfish don't feed upon them. But the problem that I'm running into is the live baby brine shrimp carries around a yolk sac, which is very nutritious, but that's consumed within about 36 at 48 hours at best. I'm supplying live baby brine shrimp that need to survive not only in the hatchery for upwards of 7 days, which will be the next time I come back, but at some point, 50% way through that, they've kind of lost their nutritional value. So it does present me with an interesting nutritional issue, which still needs to be explored. While we're continuing to allow those jellyfish to acclimate to the water they'll be going into, we're going to go ahead and service the jellyfish tank. This consists basically of going in and siphoning the debris that's collected at the bottom of the tank. We use a specialized tool, a piece of PVC pipe connected to the end of a hose. This allows me to go in and surgically siphon debris from the bottom of the tank and not suck up any of the jellyfish. Now granted, we don't have the jellyfish in there yet, but it's good practice because once you get inside there, keep in mind, the jellyfish is like a piece of wet toilet paper floating around. You can easily suck one up. So again, having a surgical device or an attempt to surgically try to remove the debris allows me to minimize coming in contact with the jellyfish. And then as quick as the siphon started, I'm done siphoning out the debris. The reality is that you don't have to change that much water in a jellyfish system. What you're attempting to do is to siphon the debris off the bottom of the tank. Unfortunately, trying to replenish a large volume of water would require you to chill that water in advance as well. This being a cold water system won't tolerate a large influx of warmer water. And now it's time to add the jellyfish.
Show me with the ideas of light and love. Here we go. This is our beautiful, lovely 16. I don't even know how to describe them.
Call them moons.
They're moons. Check it out. Our moons. We already saw it. You already saw it. So here we go. Jelly Jim the King is gonna.
Oh. Look, and you're right. The green, because the color
Yeah,
is.
it's blue. It is. Yeah, purple.
And by plugging in the water pump, the circulation or rotation begins to occur in the tank. And now that the water level is stabilized in the filter system, we find we're a couple of inches too high, so we're going to go ahead and siphon that excess water out. It's important to note that a system like this, such as a wet-dry trickle filter or a Euro-style sump, require a specific water level or one that's not higher than a specific point. They, be in the collection area, if the power were to go out, need to be able to hold all of the water that could potentially drain back. Now that the rotation of water has begun and the jellies have lifted themselves off the bottom of the tank and are now beginning to pulse throughout the system, we've determined that the tank would look better if we were to place a black backdrop on the tank. And with the use of 2 squeeze clamps and a black sheet, we're able to drape this onto the back side of the tank. It may not allow the jellies to stand out during the day because the competition with those 2 large windows is tremendous. But at the same time, at night, they will become illuminated much more specifically. We've been experimenting with some color-changing lights. It adds a whole new, interesting element to the entire jellyfish keeping thing. Now that we've added the 16 imported Japanese jellyfish to the tank, we've also adjusted the water level and gone through making sure that everything works as it's supposed to. We'll go ahead and clean the outside of the tank, and then we'll go ahead and describe to Spencer the feeding arrangements with the live baby brine shrimp out in the garage.
Well, no. Heidi and I both separately, when she was downstairs, and I was already upstairs telling Jelly Jim about the house we're going to build. And she was like, all the hallways were going to be the fish. So wait till you walk to the bedroom, and it's just 1,000 colored jellyfish on each side, changing, like as you walk through, like, oh, it's Heidi walking through, it'll all go pink. Oh. You know what I'm saying? So all the jellyfish will be pink. Spencer, oh, he needs blue, because he needs to chill out, whatever, you know. I'm building all this with Jelly Jim.
Well, I hope his dream comes true, because I would be more than happy to build that big system for him. So that's the current scoop on the star-studded celebrity Spencer Pratt of MTV's The Hills and the jellyfish tank that we set up for him. Come on back for future episodes and possible updates. Keep you posted as to how it's doing. In the meantime, keep your eyes on the stars and always keep moving forward.